Do you like your tabletop RPGs to be grim, gritty, and grounded? If so, then Legend of the Bones is the podcast for you. A hybrid of dark fantasy audio drama and old-school solo D&D. In Legend of the Bones, the dice rule. There'll be no rerolls, no fudging the dice, no metacurrency. The roll of the bones will determine the character's destiny, and no one will be spared their fate. None shall escape the destiny of Bone.
Life's a game, the world's a stage, and we are merely role players where theatrical people play role-playing games. I'm Matt, I am one of the players for this season. I love the Queen, and I am joined by 4 other players who also love the Queen. Can you introduce yourselves, please?
Hello, I'm Marta Da Silva. You last heard me in Chief Executive, and I love the Queen for now, I suppose. We'll see.
Spoilers.
I'm Ellie, and I think you will have last heard me in Tailor Made, a Vigil season.
Hello, my name is Alexander Pankhurst. You will have last heard me in Vigil. What was it, Matt?
Fear Itself?
Fear Itself. I also love the Queen, just for the record.
And I'm Josh. You would have last heard me in Vigil, Tailor Made. I am indifferent to the Queen.
Oh, coy.
I care not for the monarchy.
always wanting to bend the rules and find the rules loopholes and hack the game, Josh.
Let's break the game
Off
before
with
we
his
even
head
start.
immediately.
This is maybe the simplest game we've played outside of Dr. Magnet Hands, and you still want to hack it.
Yeah. Let's break it.
Yeah. There's not a lot of backstage stuff to do for this game, because like I said, it's very, very simple. We're playing For the Queen by Alex Roberts this season. Most of the character creation happens during the game at the table, so we don't have characters to create. But what we do have is just a quick bit of decision making about what our queen might look like. Again, most of the character of the queen will emerge in play, so we don't want to nail down too much about like exactly what her personality and character and stuff is, but we want to have like a starting vibe that also gives us a kind of setting and maybe genre, because despite the name is For the Queen, and we are the Queen's retinue, and we are on a dangerous journey with the Queen, but that doesn't mean it has to be medieval royalty. It could be modern day royalty. It could be a metaphorical queen like the CEO of Queen Industries Incorporated. So the current 2nd edition of For the Queen, published by Darrington Press, comes with some gorgeously illustrated Queen inspiration cards, which I'm going to deal out to our players now. And we don't have to use any of these, but they can give us a bit of inspiration to start with, so that we can think about where we want to land. So have a look at the queens. You should have sort of 2 to 4 on the cards that I've dealt you out. And
Cool.
do any of them immediately jump out to anybody as a cool queen that you'd like to love and follow on a dangerous journey?
Well, can I just say first, the artwork in this game is absolutely
It's
gorgeous.
stunning.
Which
Yeah.
Silly, isn't it?
which is obviously lost in this audio-only format. But if you wanted to buy yourself a copy of
These
For
are
the Queen,
really
I would
beautiful,
recommend
yeah.
it. These are gorgeous.
I don't even know what this is, so that's a good starting point.
Yeah, I've also been drawn to a glowy person.
Yeah, strange, glowy, weird creature.
So there's some weird, like, fae vibes coming off of Ellie's Queen that she's presented. And more of, like, an anime vibe off of yours, Marta?
I don't understand this drawing. That's the thing. There's like a floating eye that seems to be weeping between her golden hands, and she has a lot of fingers.
She should probably get that
1,
checked
2,
out.
3, 4, 5, 6 at least.
It's slightly giving
6
me
fingers.
like Princess Mononoke vibes, that one.
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't-
for sure.
Yeah.
I've got one that has a similarly glowing, but it's candlelit glowing. It's got Dark Souls energy to it. Sort of.
Ooh, a sinister queen.
No, she looks quite innocent. It's the thing behind.
The big head.
The big masked head that is sinister.
Quite ghostly.
Yeah, and on the back of that is one that I'm immediately drawn to because it's sort of a mermaid.
Is that Little Mermaid?
It's similar to Little Mermaid, but sort of it reminds me more of the fairies from Breath of the Wild.
Is this an octopus situation?
There is definitely a tentacle in the background.
Oh, yeah.
There's always a tentacle.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's hot. And this is, it is very Elden Ring, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've got two here. I've got a very sort of sci-fi looking individual here who's got like a visor on, wearing very purpley blue outfits, headgear. And
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk. She's got the Minority Report screens in front of her, which is kind of cool. So lots of blip, 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 blip. And the other one I've got, which is very far away from that, is this sort of medieval looking queen. So it looks like...
What happened to her face?
Well, her face, it's sort of coming off, and she's got a skull face underneath it, and she's also holding a giant greatsword.
You say it's sort of coming off. It's definitely off.
Yeah, there's air between her face.
There's a good few
also
inches
see her
between
sternum and her
face.
ribs.
This is very like medieval artwork, like she's been sainted, maybe martyred, like where it's very
Also
Memento
very Dark
Mori.
Souls, to be honest.
Yeah. But the face it's not like gooey, it's not like gory and viscerous, it's like it's a mask, it's like it's a porcelain mask that's just been taken off to reveal a scully face.
It's a skeleton doing cosplay of a queen.
Bingo.
I've got one that's sort of roughly similar, also haloed, and similarly in this sort of medieval style, very like plate armoured, big sword.
Do you guys know Lady Utena, the anime, the manga?
I've heard the name.
If anybody
I'm
knows
not familiar.
this, it looks very much like that. Like the big flowy hair with the full-on suit of armour.
Plate armour.
Plate armour, thank you, yes. And a big bad sword that's tied with red threads of destiny.
Giving me sort of Joan of Arc.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very
very.
Joan-y.
Very confident, very, very sort of giving a lot of I don't give a shit energy off of her.
Good hair.
Good hair.
Great
Long,
hair.
long sort of, not Rapunzel, Brave, the
Nice
character
red
from Brave.
hair, yes.
Flowing red hair. They've all got names as well, because I've got on the back of my card, I've got a list of the artists, so shout out to all these artists.
Oh, cool.
So red hair flowing lock is Battle Queen.
Okay.
Skellyface is the Undead Queen.
Oh, okay.
Tracks.
What's the
Number 12?
12.
That's the Shadow Queen.
Okay, and what's Q11?
Soon to be sued by Disney Queen. No, she's the Sea Queen.
There we go.
And then
This is Moon Lady, maybe? Something
what have we got?
Lady.
Two. So Ellie's is the Celestial Queen.
wasn't far off. I need to know what this is.
Yeah, what the
She
hell's
doesn't have
going
a
on?
brain
This is the
either.
Mononoke Queen.
Hey, here's a good game. What do you think the word is? It's a single word to describe her.
Sylvan?
What happens when you take drugs
High
and
Queen.
draw
Hallucination.
your idea of a queen?
It's all pretty close. She is the Dream Queen.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Yes. We seem to be sort of gravitating towards the slightly more fantasy ones. I
Yeah,
mean, Josh, you
for
did
sure.
you did sort of present a cyberpunk one, but
I've got a very androidy one
Yeah.
as well that looks like it's sort of Tron Queen.
with
Yeah.
the Tron grid in the
Yeah.
background.
What's Tron Queen?
The Computer Queen.
Tron
Not far, you're not far off.
I don't know if she's my queen, but I just want to marry this person.
Okay.
Oh my
She's
god.
gorgeous.
She's very beautiful. She's wearing a white gown and carrying blue flowers.
Oh, stunning.
I'm going to take a
Flower
guess at
queen,
Summer.
spring queen, or something.
Yeah, well, it's actually a name that we give to Ellie on this podcast. It's the Queen of Carnival. Yay! Party Queen!
Yes, I've always been known as the party queen.
There's another. I seem to have got about 6 of them. There's another one who just looks very unhappy at you in particular. She's not.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Warhammer queen.
It's very sort of
Just pissed off.
draconic looking with a big old sneer, but older. She's been around the block. She's seen a bit, and she's
She-
deeply
She
unimpressed.
looks like a well-dressed angry librarian.
Yeah.
She's just said shush.
Yeah.
She looks like what I had in my head when I designed the character of Ginny Greenteeth. Just that angry battle Ginny.
Oh.
Oh,
So maybe a mix between Ginny and Gwynny.
This is 18.
Any guesses?
No.
She is the vengeful queen.
Checks out.
Someone's stolen her shop.
Vibes are on point.
So in terms of the sort of setting that these suggest, I feel like Shadow Queen, Undead Queen, Battle Queen all lend themselves to a sort of like fallen world. Like we talked about, we said Elden Ring, we said Dark Souls, sort of like journey through a cracked and broken kingdom sort of deal, like full of dangers. Celestial Queen and Dream Queen sort of lend themselves to something a bit more like strange dimensions and psychedelic kind of journeys, maybe.
More eldritch stuff.
Or eldritch stuff, yeah.
Maybe.
Or
Yet
Persuade Power or
another
something.
freaky
Yeah.
Elden Ringy.
She's blindfolded or cowled. And
Is she Justice,
she's got
maybe, or
bloody
something?
wings.
She is the fallen angel.
Well, there you go. I sense a theme.
Yeah, quite gothic.
I quite
Yeah.
like this gothic vibe. I don't know how anyone else feels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the gothic, the eldritch side, the creepy side, and also if we're doing something that's more serious and more bloodlusty, then it's going to be a more dramatic season, isn't it?
I like spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I immediately like the setup of you all love the Queen, even though the Queen is maybe slightly monstrous or odd or dark or strange.
Because you said when we're playing the game, we're going to learn more about the Queen
Yes.
than what we learn about our own characters.
Potentially, yeah. We're going to learn a lot about her behaviour towards us and our feelings towards her.
So who's got the best potential backstory?
Yeah. The challenge of this is picking one. I think that's the real difficulty in the game.
Kudos to all of the Darrington Press artists here,
Yeah.
because they've made our job very difficult, because we want to follow all these queens.
I'm drawn immediately to the Battle Queen and the Fallen Angel Queen.
Yeah, so like the warrior side
Yeah.
of the Gothic. Like, we're following a queen who can handle herself.
I like this. I like Faceless Lady.
Yeah.
Faceless Lady is also...
Because she also has a sword.
Yeah.
But also she's a fucking skeleton and her face is coming off. I
So should we narrow it down to Battle, Fallen Angel, and Undead?
Yeah.
don't know, what do you
Queen?
think? They're all so pretty. This one's also very nice.
Yeah, I'm always drawn to the one that looks most like a ghost.
But, we could have all four of those on the table as our inspiration as we play, potentially. And this sort of gives us a feeling of, like, this is a queen who can swing a sword, but is also maybe also has, like, a sorceress sort of side to her. Proficient with martial and magical skills. But it also... Like, between those four, I feel like I've got a sense of the world we live in as well. That it might be, a world of giant, ancient beasts and broken, tumble-down castles and ancient eldritch magics and that sort of thing.
They've all also got a vibe. They could all be the same
Yes,
queen.
I was literally just thinking that.
Different points
So-
in her life.
Yeah, so Battle Queen in her heyday before she fell into, the Fallen Angel side.
And her face fell off.
Also, her face fell off.
Oh, is this like the cooler story of Lady Macbeth? So she starts here. This looks very Shakespearean.
And very young.
Start off with Shadow
Then she
Queen.
goes full on warrior lady.
Battle
then
Queen.
shit goes down, and so she's a fallen angel because murdering, people thing. And then she gets punished,
Or she ascends.
or she ascends into faceless skeleton lady.
Yeah.
So maybe the faceless skeleton lady, the undead queen, is what could happen by the end of our story.
Or maybe that's where the story starts, and that's the one we love. And this is her journey, and that's the queen that we now follow and love.
But we might have started loving her at different points when she was slightly different. So that might be... Might feed into why maybe some feelings change.
Yeah. I like that as an arc for her.
Yeah.
The general shape of it is, was human and through various dark pacts and battle acts has become something else, perhaps ascended, perhaps descended, generally other. And we don't need to, at this point, be super specific about, okay, is she at the point where she's a skull face right now? We just need to know, that's the trajectory that the Queen has been on up to this point.
Yeah.
I love it.
Sounds good.
Amazing.
Did we just massively overthink this and make it more complicated
Yes.
for ourselves? Are you supposed to just go through the deck and go, yep, we'll do that one and see what happens?
It's just picking one is so difficult. It's all so cool. I mean, give me a halo and like a spiky crown and I'm in.
If you're playing very casually, I think just pick a random queen out of the deck and go, that's her. Because we're doing this for an audience and we want, I think overthinking it is no bad thing.
We need filler. We need content.
Whoa. When you say no, you don't mean filler. You mean good quality content.
Yes, of course.
Peek behind the curtain.
And our thought process.
Yeah.
Can I just give a shout out to one of these, which we haven't looked at, which is this one, which is Scream Queen.
Final girl queen.
Yes.
Which is giving Carrie, which
Very
is
Carrie.
giving, final Jamie Lee Curtis, Sigourney Weaver. She is wearing, I believe, a prom dress while she's holding a bunch of red roses with a little crown on, but she's also carrying a giant meat cleaver or meat knife.
Kitchen knife.
Kitchen knife.
Kitchen knife.
With mascara running down her face, and she looks terrifying.
Her prom date.
There is a reflection in the knife
is there?
of eyes, of red eyes. So she's clearly being about to be attacked by something.
Her prom date is no longer with us.
That was not a
Chad
good,
has
not a
died.
good night.
He had it coming.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so we've created a sort of fallen or in the process of falling queen, which I enjoy a lot.
Stumbling queen.
Yes. Did not fall so much as saunter vaguely downwards. Shout out to Terry Pratchett. So that gives us our a sketch of our queen. It gives us a sketch of our setting, and we'll find out all of the rest as we go.
Hooray!
Did anybody think when we said we're playing for the queen and you read the kind of setup of how the game works, did anybody think we were going to be following a potentially undead skull-faced queen through a broken kingdom?
No.
Not really.
I came to the table with no sort of thoughts.
That is what
empty
you bring to the
head.
table.
Not just no expectations, just nothing.
No thought.
It's
Nothing.
like a void.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done weirder content on this podcast, haven't we? So it's not
Yeah.
entirely outside the realms of imagination.
Yeah.
It's good.
Shall we begin?
Let's do it.
For the Queen!
The Queen!
This has been Her Many Masks, a studio production from Merely Roleplayers, starring Alexander Pankhurst, Marta Da Silva, Josh Yard, Ellie Pitkin, and me, Matt Boothman. I edited and produced this episode, and the theme music is by Alexander Pankhurst. We were playing For the Queen, the second edition, by Alex Roberts, published by Darrington Press at darringtonpress.com. Merely Roleplayers is a Foggy Outline production in association with Blackshaw Theatre Company. Until next time, if drama be the food of life, play on. Foggy Outline. Undivide your world.